It is Serbia versus England, a clash that will be the clash of strikers and players, both young and old. No, so good day, and how are you?
Good day to you. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to be part of the show again.
So today we'll be looking at Serbia, sorry, versus England in the Euro 2024 group matches. This is Group C. England will be with Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia in that group. So they will start their Group C opener with Serbia. So now, so let me ask, looking at these two sides, let's start with the Serbian side. We all know how they will set up. We all know how dynamic their formation is. We all know the players that will move the game for Serbia forward. The likes of Mitrovic, Savic, Tadic, Lucic, Gudel, Kostic, Pavlovic, Vetinovic, Milankovic, and Milankovic Savic on the in post as well. So, how do you expect Serbia? Because everybody expects Serbia to give England a run for their money in this match, but how do you expect them to to ensure that they get something at the end of the day? Because the English side are the overwhelming favorite in this match, but take nothing away from the Serbians. They have a very stubborn team, a very thick team from the goalkeeper to the striker who is Mitrovic.
I quite agree with you. The word stubborn is the right word. The manager, we all know how he sets up his team to play. No, we could sit back and say, okay, England played the 4-3-3 formation, but for Serbia, I love the way the coach set them up. He set them up against the position. He could play 3-5-2 today and play 4-3-3 tomorrow, and the next day he changes his style of play as well, just to suit the position he gets. So I think that's the fear factor England has got, because they don't know what to expect from the manager. Because he always set his team to at least to cancel out whatever they bring. Man to man, like we already know, is visible to the blind and up to the deaf that the Three Lions are by superior than the Serbia national team. But there are some players, where we can say these players have played in the top tier of football for a very long time. The likes of Mitrovic, Alexander Mitrovic, who now plays in Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. He won the Saudi Arabian Cup and of course the Saudi Arabia League title. And don't forget between my El Nasr in the final where Ronaldo, you know what happened with Ronaldo and all the debacle. And they've got Tadic. At some point he was in the Premier League, Ajax Amsterdam. Then probably sometimes they moved to Ajax and now he plays in Turkey as well. And then the goalkeeper, who has been a long servant of the club, that is Milinkovic Savic. He's been there for some time now. And of course Gudeji, who plays here. But we could sit down here and draw a competition. Like I saw your lineup playing a 3-man defense. You'd be surprised on the day you could play a 5-man defense to just nullify whatever the England team can bring and keep Tadic and Mitrovic up front, because he knows with Mitrovic what they need is one set piece, one good delivery, and he will deliver. And I think that's the fear for England. England cannot plan their game ahead of just, okay, this is how these guys will play. The coach has no definite style of play. Sometimes he can be very pragmatic. When he plays the left hand team, he play attacking football like he did in the friendly game where they won 3 goals to nil. But when he plays these top teams like England, he tends to change it all over and then try to sit back, soak the pressure as much as he can, and then wait for scraps, wait for something to happen. And that's the way I think he will set up his team to play. So key factors that no matter how he sets up his team to play, there are 3 components of that team that always will be there. One is Mitrovic, the out and out, the record goal scorer. And whether they play 3-4, he's always the man who leads the line. And I think he has mastered the act of playing as a lone striker, because he knows he will suffer a lot. He's not playing for Brazil, Serbia. That's why he be one of the top strikers in Europe. He would suffer a lot playing for Serbia. So, and he has left and mastered that. They've got Tadic as well. He's the creative mind of that team. And the good thing about him is that his stint with Ajax has added a bit of grit, still in his football, where he tends to mark and work hard for the team as well. So that's what these 2 players, and of course the goalkeeper, like we already called about him, Milinkovic Savic, what his servant has been for the national team. I think he'll be in goal again. I think he'll go with experience. But I think there's one thing you would get from this team is what the work rate. They would work hard. They would tirelessly cover the blades of grass. Sometimes you think there are 15 Serbian players in pitch of play because of the way they cover back, they track back, and they try to force the issue. So what you can't take out from this team is that they will give 150%. Because that means, would it be enough, or will the quality of the England national team shine on the day? And that's what we'll get to at some point, because the England players have got some Nigeria players who can unlock any defense on their own, on their day. We'll come to that rest. Hurricane, Bukayo Saka, and of course, the PFA player of the year, about to Phil Foden. They've got some quality players around them who can just, pick the ball on his own, go past 3 or 4 players and smack the ball in the back of the net. But if it's for a team, they're well-drilled, organized team. Talk about the Serbian national team. I don't think it will be a walking pack for the Three Lions.
Okay, the Three Lions, we know they will set up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. That's what we expect them to.
Absolutely.
How we expect them to perform.
It doesn't change it.
Exactly. Doesn't change it, and that is why I call him an inflexible manager. He doesn't know when his team is in trouble to be flexible sometimes with his formation, to change, to be dynamic with his formation. So now, when we look at the Three Lions, we see Hurricane up front, very dangerous, a good hold-up play. Phil Foden, PFA Player of the Year, we expect him to do more in that left side that is coming. Bukayo Saka, we expect him to do more on the right side. And we hope, because they are both left-footed players, we hope they interchange during games to ensure that, to keep the Serbian defense on their toes as well. We know what Jude Bellingham can bring. We know what Jude Bellingham can bring into this English side. He brings goals, he brings tackles, he brings that passing control as well. Declan Rice, he should be the individual that should marshal that midfield, together with Kobe Mainoo or any other person that will come into the midfield. Kobe Mainoo, we know what he brings as a youngster. They say if you are old enough, you're old enough. So we know he brings calmness. He knows he knows when to move forward. He knows when to pass the ball. The short passes is there, and which he's very good at. He will also be an asset going up front with Jude Bellingham, Saka, and Phil Foden. This together with Hurricane, those four players I mentioned will be an excellent asset going forward. Then it is left for Trippier, Guehi, Stones, and Walker to marshal this defense very, very well, together with Declan Rice that will be sitting above them. So I think for me, we don't really have a problem with Pickford. Pickford is Pickford or no other keeper for England as long as he's fit. So this is what we have for England. What more do we expect from the Southgate and the English side also?
To be sincere with you, I don't expect much. Like you said, you read it out. This is how they would set up. I can sit in my sleep and wake up and realize I can practically pick the first 11. The only way I think there'll be issues will be the midfield, where and of course booking departments where some top players have got pulled out due to injuries. The likes of Harry Maguire, he will not be at this competition. Pulled out through injury. There will no James Maddison. Surprisingly, surprise. There is no Marcus Rashford. Surprise. But the man has seemed to have gone to form. Every player he has picked for the tournament are form-based players. We've talked deep about this already in the preview episode, where we talked about the fact that they're not short of talent, but I don't think they have enough experience. You can't go to a tournament without Rashford. You can't go to a tournament without Rashford, at least. Maguire. At least you need a little of experience in every position. But that's by the way. Now the tournament has begun already. We need to now be to focus on the games that are coming up. The man has to now make do with what he's got. And I think this is Gareth Southgate's final hooray. If he doesn't hit the jackpot this time, it could be shown the exit door as early as the end of the tournament. But to say with you, I think they set it that way. But there are 3 players who I think will be key in this England setup. One of them will be, of course, Trippier. He will not have to lead the line, but he will not lead the line as a right back, which is the preferred solution. He will lead the line as a left back, because unfortunately their only natural left-footed left back, which is Luke Shaw. We all know his injury with fitness. I think he's probably played 14 games so far this season, and he just managed to be fit for the tournament properly.
Sorry, no. So I don't think there's a balance in that team, and that is why I fought Gareth Southgate. There's a fit Ben Chilwell, a very fit Ben Chilwell in that team.
Very fit Ben Chilwell. He didn't call him up.
Yes,
exactly.
He didn't call him up.
I don't just understand. There's a player who could have played the right back. There's a player like Ben White who should be in that team. He can play as a right back, centre back, left back. You can even allow Trippier to enjoy the left back.
We can still understand the right back issue. We can understand the right back issue, but
Yeah,
that left back issue just creates an imbalance because look, sure, I don't know how many games have you played? 14 games. If he has played 5 games
just
towards
for
the end of
thinking.
the season, then I would say there's no problem. Yes, but he hasn't even played any
But I don't
game, no
think he kicked
warm
it.
up game that he has
I
played so
don't
far.
think
So
he kicked the ball.
he hasn't kicked.
I don't kick the ball towards the end of the
He
season.
hasn't kicked the ball for England. So
They have 2 months.
this is where we are.
Yeah.
This is for me. For me, also whether you agree with me or not, because I know you agree with me on this statement I want to make, is that this English team that we have here, this one that we have here, if it is the way they will set up, it is an unbalanced team on the left side of the pitch. It is unbalanced. So
Absolutely. And I'll give you 2 reasons. I'll give you 2 reasons why. I'll give you Philip. I'll give you 2 reasons why it's not a balanced team. One, like I said, Trippier is not a natural left footer, but the fact that he has played there so long a time, it's more like okay, we could forgive them because he's done that so many times. He has covered up with Atletico Madrid, with and Newcastle. But my point is before them. Watch out for Fifoden because he will drift into the midfield. That issue is had at Man City will reoccur again. The guy always wants to get involved with the play. You get? He wants to get involved with the play.
Yeah.
He wants to make things happen. He wants to try and influence the game. During calling for the ball, he will leave his position, and of course, he will drift to the midfield and add more peps. What it does is to give more bite to the midfield, but it will let that wing suffer. How do I say so? Now, Trippier would have to double mark both the right back who be streaming forward. Like we talk about SERBIA, they likely play the 3 man defender, the wing back and the winger.
Yeah.
So Trippier will double marking 2 players because Fifoden will not put in a shift in. Fifoden wants the ball to fit. He wants to make something happen. When it comes to tracking back, that's not his forte. I think Walker will enjoy playing with Saka because he has been forced to learn how to track back during the time when he had to play at left back for Arsenal and left wing back under the early reign of Mikel Arteta, and he's now defending very well. And that's why I think he's getting so many niggly injuries. And some times you think you need him to pull out of. He wants to go and work hard, but that's Saka for you.
Yeah.
But Fifoden, what you get from Fifoden is what you get from him when his team is on the advantage. So I think that wing will be a bit porous. So I want to see what the coach will do, whether he would take a gamble, either play Fifoden or Saka, and then get a natural winger who will track back, or maybe play 3 at the back this time around. But it's going to be difficult. I look at the back, the centre back he brought. Not so many of them are comfortable playing with 3 at the back. And that's why I asked why Ben White is not in the team. You get? So it is what it is. That wing would suffer, but I want to bank on Trippier's experience as a left back to help understand and tinker that team. He's one of the most experienced players in the back line. Come on. Gay, he'll be playing his first international tournament. I don't think he's got up to 10 caps for the 3 Lions. He's a learner, and he has to start because if you look at the team, you've got somebody like Louis Dunk. I don't think Louis Dunk has got up to 3 caps for the national team. So he looks like the experience of the rest after John Stones. And John Stones' issue is that not as if he's not a bad player. I don't think John Stones is a bad player, to be sincere with you. I just think he's got that moment of the same problem I have with Calvin Bassey. That moment of madness. It happens. You get? You are sure that the guy will make a mistake or 2, in every game. And then Serbia and Mitrovic is a fox. He's an absolute predator. All he needs is a sniff of a chance, and the ball is in the back of net. We saw that when we played Croatia, exactly. So it is what it is. But I think today we tell us the true picture of this England team, whether they are good already enough for this Euros. Because when I saw the list, I know we had a long extension on the preview. I'm still not convinced. But if you ask me, I will still go with this. I'll go with Kobe Mainoo for one thing. The guy has. I think whenever he plays, he throws away the fear factor. I just hope that Southgate will not try to limit, try to cage him. This is why I say so. Because with Eric Ten Hag, he allows him to express himself, make his mistakes and correct it. Yeah. But Southgate is a very rigid manager. I know him. Do this, don't do this. Do this, don't do. That's how he managed, and that is how. That is why he loves playing the likes of Calvin Bassey. Because Calvin Bassey is one of the most disciplined players I've seen in the world. If you tell it, I watched a game where he didn't cross the center circle for more than 3 or 4 times. He knew his job, and that's why he doesn't score much of goals. The same thing with I think some players like Fifoden will hate working with him because Fifoden wants to express himself. He wants to do what he wants to do and make things happen. So I just want to see how it will pan out. But I'm still not convinced with him. But I think they would maybe just have maybe enough to just scale through. It won't be convincing for these 3 Lion teams. I see, like I said, forgive me. I still think Raheem Sterling should be in this team. Maybe not playing regularly, but should be here. He's one of the experienced campaigner. I think Rashford should have been in this team. Maybe not starting. These are the guys who have seen it at the biggest stage. When the Chiefs are down, we saw that with them. Even when this guy was a bad time, Tadic. He was in the bench when the Chiefs were there. They threw the man in, and you saw what he did for Serbia at some point. It was in the last two Euros. So this is what it's all about. Some big names who should have been. I'm not saying should take all the one, but there are 3 or 4 names that should have been here that would have led the team. I'm still looking for leaders in this English Three Lions, and I can't still find any, except maybe like I said, Trippier, Kyle Walker. In the midfield, Declan Rice has to grow. He has, as at the last World Cup, he was a rookie into the squad. He was even barely what can he bring to the table? Now he's not the leader of that midfield. How things have changed. Saka is not a leader in the attack. How things have changed. But it is what it is. And we'll see what they bring to the table. But I'm still not convinced with this England national team. I'm still not.
Okay, now, so what's your prediction for this match between Serbia and England?
The bookmakers must have gone England already without betting an eyelid. I did tell you that, like I said in the first game, where I said Germany would win, and they have won. I still think that this game, I don't think England will have enough to win. I want to bank on the coach of Serbia, to do exactly what they know how to do best. Simple, sit back, soak the pressure, try and make things happen. I think it will be a score draw, a 1-1 draw, 2-2 draw.
Okay, a 1-1 draw, a 2-2 draw between England versus Serbia. That is that for England versus Serbia. We'll see you in their next match, both teams, hopefully, and we'll talk about how their display was in the first match.